Hey, what's up everybody, it's MKBHD here. Today we're diving into a significant development in the tech world. It's something that has been on the radar for a while but has recently come to a head. Apple recently settled a class action lawsuit concerning swollen batteries in their Apple Watches. This settlement is a big deal, not just for Apple but for the entire tech industry. This issue has been a growing concern for many users, impacting the functionality and safety of their devices. Users have reported various problems, from minor inconveniences to significant safety risks. Swollen batteries can cause a range of problems, from decreased performance to potential safety hazards. The swelling can lead to the battery pushing against the watch's screen, causing it to crack or even detach. It's an issue that has plagued various tech devices, and Apple Watches haven't been immune. Other devices like smartphones and laptops have also faced similar issues, but the compact design of the Apple Watch makes it particularly vulnerable. This settlement highlights the importance of addressing battery-related concerns and their impact on consumers. It serves as a reminder that companies need to prioritize the safety and reliability of their products. It's a reminder that even tech giants like Apple aren't exempt from these issues. No matter how advanced the technology, there are always potential pitfalls that need to be managed. So let's break down the details of this settlement and what it means for Apple Watch users. The settlement includes compensation for affected users and commitments from Apple to improve their battery technology. The swelling occurs when the battery's internal components degrade, producing gas and causing the battery to expand. This is a common issue in lithium-ion batteries, which are used in most modern tech devices. This expansion can put pressure on the watch's display and other internal components, potentially leading to damage and safety concerns. The pressure can cause the screen to lift, crack, or even pop off entirely. In some cases, the swelling can be so severe that it causes the watch's screen to detach from the body, rendering the device unusable. This not only affects the watch's functionality, but also poses a safety risk to the user. This issue has understandably caused frustration among Apple Watch users who rely on their devices for various tasks, from fitness tracking to communication. The reliability of these devices is crucial for their daily routines. The potential for device damage and safety hazards adds another layer of concern. Users need to be aware of these risks and take appropriate measures to ensure their safety. Let's delve deeper into which specific Apple Watch models have been affected by this issue. Understanding the scope of the problem can help users make informed decisions about their devices. The class action lawsuit specifically covers several generations of Apple Watches, focusing on the models that have been reported to have battery issues. The first generation Apple Watch, Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. These models were among the earliest iterations of Apple's groundbreaking wearable technology. These models, released between 2015 and 2017, represent a significant portion of Apple Watches sold during that period. They were celebrated for their innovative features and sleek design, quickly becoming a popular choice among tech enthusiasts and everyday users alike. It's important to note that not all users who own these models experienced battery swelling. Many users enjoyed their devices without any issues, benefiting from the convenience and functionality that the Apple Watch provided. However, the lawsuit alleges that a design flaw in these particular models made them more susceptible to this issue. This flaw, according to the lawsuit, compromised the integrity of the battery, leading to potential swelling and other related problems. This flaw, the lawsuit claims, led to premature battery degradation and the subsequent swelling. The swelling could cause the screen to pop out or the device to become unusable, posing a significant inconvenience to the users. Apple, while denying any wrongdoing, has agreed to settle the lawsuit to avoid further legal proceedings. The settlement is seen as a way to address the concerns of affected users without admitting fault. The settlement brings some relief to affected users who experienced battery swelling and subsequent device issues. It offers compensation and acknowledges the inconvenience caused by the battery problems. It also raises questions about the design and manufacturing processes of these specific Apple Watch models. The case has prompted discussions about how such issues can be prevented in future models and what steps Apple might take to ensure higher quality control. While Apple maintains that it did not engage in any wrongdoing, the settlement suggests a willingness to address the concerns raised by consumers. This move is seen as a proactive step to maintain customer trust and satisfaction. Now let's move on to the timeline of when these battery issues were reported and who qualifies for compensation under this settlement. Understanding the timeline will help clarify the extent of the problem and the response from Apple. The eligibility for the settlement is tied to a specific time frame, which is crucial for affected users to understand. Affected users must have reported the battery swelling issue to Apple between April 24, 2015 and February 6, 2024. This nearly 9-year period is significant as it encompasses the life cycle of several Apple Watch models. This time frame covers the period during which the affected Apple Watch models were released and widely used. From the initial launch to subsequent updates, these models have been in the hands of millions of users worldwide. It's important to highlight that simply owning one of the affected models doesn't automatically qualify someone for compensation. Users need to have experienced the specific issue of battery swelling and taken the necessary steps to report it. The key factor is whether the user experienced battery swelling and reported the issue to Apple within the specified time frame. This ensures that only those who genuinely face the problem are eligible for the settlement. This requirement ensures that the settlement benefits users who genuinely encountered the problem and took steps to address it with Apple. Reporting the issue is a critical step in the process. This timeline helps to narrow down the scope of the settlement and ensure that it reaches the intended recipients. By focusing on a specific period, the settlement aims to be fair and just. It also underscores the importance of reporting any device issues to manufacturers promptly. Timely reporting can make a significant difference in the outcome of such cases. Documenting these issues can be crucial in situations like this, where compensation or resolutions are offered. Keeping a record of the problem and the steps taken to address it can support your claim. Now, let's dive into Apple's stance on this issue and why they chose to settle the lawsuit despite denying any wrongdoing. Understanding their perspective can provide more context to the settlement. Apple, as with many companies facing legal action, has denied any wrongdoing in the design or manufacturing of the affected Apple Watch models. They maintain that the battery swelling issue was not widespread and affected only a small percentage of users. However, instead of engaging in a protracted legal battle, Apple opted to settle the lawsuit. This decision, while not an admission of guilt, suggests a strategic move to mitigate potential financial risks and reputational damage associated with a prolonged legal process. Settlements are common in class action lawsuits, allowing companies to resolve issues without admitting fault. This settlement allows Apple to move forward without the distraction and potential negative publicity of a trial. It also provides a resolution for affected users who experience genuine issues with their Apple Watches. While the settlement amount might seem substantial, it's likely a fraction of what Apple might have incurred in legal fees and potential damages had the case gone to trial. Now let's break down the estimated payouts for eligible users and how they can claim their share of the settlement. So, who exactly qualifies for compensation in this lawsuit? Well, it's a bit specific. If you purchased the affected product between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2022, you might be eligible. It's important to note that this applies to individual consumers as well as businesses. Also, if you experienced any issues directly related to the defect during this period, you could be entitled to compensation. Oh, and don't forget to keep any receipts or proof of purchase handy. They might be crucial for your claim. If you're an affected user, the process to claim your compensation is straightforward. First, you need to verify if your device is eligible. Next, you'll need to provide proof of purchase or ownership. Once that's done, you can submit your claim through the designated website. It's designed to be as user-friendly as possible, ensuring that you can complete it without any hassle. So what does this mean for Apple? Well, this lawsuit has certainly put a spotlight on their practices. It's a reminder that transparency with consumers is crucial. Apple might need to rethink how they communicate about device performance and battery health in the future. Furthermore, this case could potentially set a precedent for how tech companies handle similar issues moving forward. There are definitely some lessons to be learned here. Consumers are more informed and vigilant than ever, and they expect honesty from the brands they trust. For tech companies, this means being upfront about product limitations and updates. Looking ahead, we can expect more stringent regulations and higher expectations for transparency in the tech industry. Battery technology is evolving rapidly, but this case underscores the importance of consumer rights. Users deserve to know how updates will affect their devices. As technology advances, so too must the policies that protect consumers. This balance is essential to maintain trust and ensure that technological progress benefits everyone.
The digital age has brought unprecedented challenges, particularly in the realm of child protection. The UK has taken a bold step by introducing groundbreaking legislation to combat the growing threat of AI-generated child sexual abuse material. This landmark decision makes the UK the first nation to criminalise the specific use of AI for this purpose, signalling a new era of online safety. The legislation underscores the UK's commitment to protecting its most vulnerable citizens. It acknowledges the evolving nature of online threats and aims to stay ahead of criminals who exploit technology for nefarious purposes. This proactive approach is crucial in the fight against online child abuse, which has devastating and long-lasting impacts on victims. This legislation is not just about punishment, it is about sending a clear message. A message that exploiting children, even in the digital realm, will not be tolerated. The UK is setting an example for the world, demonstrating that protecting children online is a top priority. The hope is that other nations will follow suit, creating a united front against the global scourge of online child abuse. This legislation represents a significant victory for child protection advocates, but it is only the first step in a long, complex battle. The new laws target specific activities related to AI-generated CSAM, leaving no room for ambiguity. Possessing, creating or distributing AI tools designed to create this harmful material now carries a penalty of up to 5 years in prison. Another offence now criminalised is the possession of AI paedophile manuals. These manuals, often shared on the dark web, provide instructions on using AI to create and manipulate images for child sexual abuse. Possessing such materials can lead to a prison sentence of up to 3 years. The legislation doesn't stop there. It also addresses websites that facilitate the sharing of CSAM or offer advice on grooming children. Running such platforms can result in a sentence of up to 10 years, reflecting the severity of these crimes. Furthermore, individuals attempting to enter the UK with digital devices suspected of containing CSAM who refuse inspection by Border Force officials could face up to 3 years in prison. This measure aims to prevent the importation of illegal material and further strengthens the UK's defences against online child abuse. AI-generated CSAM presents a particularly insidious threat. Unlike traditional CSAM, which relies on images of real children, AI-generated content is entirely fabricated. This distinction, however, does not diminish the harm it causes. This type of CSAM includes images that are partially or fully generated by AI. Sophisticated software can be used to nudify existing images of children or swap their faces onto different bodies, creating realistic but entirely fake depictions of abuse. Adding another layer of depravity, perpetrators sometimes incorporate real children's voices into AI-generated content, effectively re-victimizing survivors of abuse. This audio manipulation adds a chilling realism to the fabricated material. The use of AI-generated CSAM extends beyond mere gratification for perpetrators. It is often used as a tool for blackmail, coercing victims into providing more explicit images or engaging in further abuse. This highlights the real-world dangers posed by this seemingly synthetic form of abuse. The pervasiveness of AI-generated SAM is deeply concerning. Statistics paint a grim picture of the scale of this emerging threat, underscoring the urgency of the UK's legislative action. The National Crime Agency reports making approximately 800 arrests each month related to online child threats. This staggering figure provides a glimpse into the sheer volume of online abuse taking place. Adding to the alarm, an estimated 840,000 adults in the UK alone representing a staggering 1.6% of the adult population, are considered to pose a threat to children online and offline. This figure emphasizes the widespread nature of the problem and the need for comprehensive solutions. The Internet Watch Foundation has observed a dramatic 380% increase in reports of CSAM from 2023 to 2024, with each report potentially containing thousands of individual images. This exponential growth highlights the rapid proliferation of CSAM online, fueled in part by the increasing accessibility of AI technology. Section 5. Voices of Authority, Expert Opinions on the new legislation. The UK's decision to criminalise AI-generated CSAM has been met with widespread support from child protection experts and organisations. Their insights shed light on the significance of this legislation and the challenges that lie ahead. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper has emphasised the importance of keeping laws up to date with the ever-evolving landscape of online threats. She stressed the need to protect children both in the physical world and online, recognising the interconnectedness of these realms. Professor Claire McGlynn, a leading expert in online abuse, welcomes the new laws but cautions against complacency. She points to significant gaps that remain, particularly the lack of a ban on nudify apps and the need for stronger action against the normalization of sexual activity with young-looking girls on mainstream porn sites, which she argues constitutes simulated child sexual abuse. Derek Ray Hill, Interim Chief Executive of the Internet Watch Foundation, warns that AI-generated CSAM not only fuels abuse but also emboldens abusers and ultimately makes real children less safe. He welcomes the new measures as a vital starting point, but stresses the need for continued vigilance and innovation to combat this evolving threat. Section 6. A shared responsibility, the role of tech companies. While legislation is crucial, tackling the spread of AI-generated CSAM requires a collaborative effort. Tech companies, with their vast resources and expertise, have a critical role to play in this fight. Platforms that host user-generated content must invest in robust content moderation systems. This includes employing a combination of human moderators and AI-powered tools to detect and remove CSAM quickly and efficiently. Developing and implementing age verification mechanisms is another crucial step. While not foolproof, these systems can help prevent minors from accessing inappropriate content and reduce the risk of them being exposed to CSAM. Tech companies also have a responsibility to educate their users about online safety. This includes raising awareness about the dangers of CSAM, providing guidance on how to report it, and promoting responsible online behavior. Section 7. Beyond legislation, addressing the root causes. While the new legislation is a significant step forward, it is essential to recognize that it is not a panacea. Addressing the root causes of demand for CSAM is crucial for achieving long-term success in this fight. This requires investing in education and prevention programs that challenge harmful attitudes and behaviors. It also means providing support and treatment to individuals struggling with pedophilic disorder, helping them to manage their urges and prevent them from acting on their impulses. Addressing societal factors that contribute to child sexual abuse is also paramount. This includes tackling poverty, inequality, and lack of access to education, which can increase children's vulnerability to exploitation. Creating a culture of zero tolerance for child sexual abuse is essential. This involves encouraging open dialogue, challenging harmful stereotypes, and fostering empathy and understanding for victims. Section 8. A global imperative, international collaboration and action. The fight against AI-generated CSAM knows no borders. It requires a coordinated global response to effectively tackle this transnational crime. International cooperation is crucial for sharing intelligence, coordinating investigations, and harmonizing legislation. Law enforcement agencies across the globe must work together to dismantle criminal networks involved in the production and distribution of CSAM. This includes sharing best practices, providing technical assistance, and conducting joint operations. International organizations such as Interpol and Europol have a vital role to play in facilitating cooperation and coordinating efforts. They provide a platform for information sharing, training, and capacity building. The private sector, including tech companies and internet service providers, must also be engaged in this global effort. Their expertise and resources are essential for developing technological solutions and implementing preventative measures. Section 9. The future of online safety. A call for vigilance. The UK's bold move to criminalise AI-generated CSAM marks a turning point in the fight against online child abuse. However, it is not a time for complacency. This is a dynamic and evolving threat that requires ongoing vigilance and adaptation. Law enforcement agencies must remain one step ahead of criminals, continuously developing their capabilities to detect, investigate and prosecute those involved in the production and distribution of CSAM. This includes investing in training, technology and specialized units. The rapid pace of technological advancement necessitates ongoing adaptation. As AI technology continues to evolve, so too will the methods used by criminals to exploit it. Lawmakers, law enforcement and tech companies must work together to anticipate and respond to these emerging threats. Protecting children online requires a collective effort. It is the responsibility of governments, law enforcement, tech companies, educators, parents and individuals to work together to create a safer online world for all.